Your child melts down over the smallest things. They can't sleep. They refuse to go to school. The emotional outbursts are getting worse, and you're walking on eggshells, never knowing what might set them off next. You've tried counseling, therapy sessions, maybe even medications, but nothing ever seems to stick. And in fact, everything you try seems to make their anxiety and aggression worse. Parents, you're not alone, and you're not failing your child. Right now, 4.4 million children in America struggle with anxiety. And those numbers are only climbing every single year. And here's what most parents don't realize is that your child's anxiety isn't a behavior problem to manage. It's a neurological problem that can be addressed at its root. When 8-year-old Damon started to have self-harming thoughts and refused to go to school, his mom felt hopeless. She told us everything I tried was making his anxiety and aggression worse. But when they discovered the real root cause wasn't in Damon's head, it was stuck in his nervous system, everything changed. This video is for exhausted parents whose children struggle with anxiety or aggression or emotional regulation, and who are tired of being told that the only way that their kids are going to grow out of it is through a medication. In the next few minutes, my goal is to have you discover why your child's anxiety isn't behavior, but it's neurological, and how early life stressors get stuck in their nervous system. And most importantly, how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help your child finally access the natural ability to calm down and regulate their emotions. So let's get back to Damon's story. When we met Damon, he was struggling with emotional anxiety, and it's not an easy thing for an 8-year-old to handle. His emotions were coming out as anger and aggression. He was refusing to go to school, and things were progressively getting worse for his entire family. It got so bad that he was starting to have self-harming thoughts and actions at 8 years old. He had already been through a behavioral program, but his mom felt like everything she tried to do was just making things worse. When they found our office, it was the first time that mom felt heard and hopeful. There was no judgment here, and she said that she felt understood. And even better, we found the solution to that, okay? She understood that. Anxiety itself is normal. It's going to show up during times of stress, big life changes or challenges. The worst kind of anxiety is anxiety about having anxiety. And that's a real sign of a dysregulated nervous system. Your kid's anxiety isn't a character flaw or behavioral choice. It's their nervous system stuck in a constant state of fight or flight, unable to access the rest, digest, and regulate mode essential for emotional well-being. When the nervous system is out of balance, even simple activities of daily living can feel threatening to your child's brain and body, triggering an anxiety response that seems way out of proportion. This stuck state is caused by a subluxation. And that subluxation is stress and tension that builds up on the nervous system and interferes with proper brain-body communication. The perfect storm creates that childhood anxiety, that buildup of subluxation, and it often starts as early as pregnancy, when maternal stress hormones cross the placenta and impact your baby's developing nervous system. So birth interventions like a C-section and forceps or vacuum extraction can create a physical trauma to the delicate upper neck and brainstem where crucial nerves are housed. Early childhood experiences like falls and illnesses, emotional stress, and frequent antibiotic use continue to add layers to an already stressed and overwhelmed nervous system. Without addressing these root causes, children don't grow out of anxiety. They often grow into more complex cases and challenges. The vagus nerve is your child's brake pedal, right? It's responsible for activating the calming, healing side of the nervous system. And that allows them to self-regulate and feel safe. When subluxation interferes with the vagus nerve function, your child loses access to this natural calming mechanism, making it nearly impossible to settle down on their own. And this explains why traditional behavioral approaches often fall short, is because they're just trying to teach coping skills to a child whose nervous system is physically unable to access the calm state that they need. And now we identify and address these real root causes at True North Chiropractic by using the Insight scans. This allows us to detect and measure the presence and severity of subluxation, that stress on the nervous system. These scans show us exactly where the stress is. It shows us where it's at, how we can address it, and it helps us create a personalized care plan tailored specifically for that kiddo. One of our EMG scans is a perfect representation of the stuck sympathetic fight or flight pattern we commonly see. When a child is struggling with anxiety, it shows an increased tension in the cervical and in the sacral regions. This floods the nervous system with nonstop sensory noise that often overwhelms the brain. We often see stress near T10 area, which is an area that controls the adrenal glands, indicating adrenal fatigue and neurological exhaustion, which are hallmark findings of anxiety. Our adjustments work to release that stress and tension from the sympathetic nervous system, activating the vagus nerve and restoring balance to the nervous system. If everything that we just talked about in this video sounds all too familiar, and you'd like to learn more about navigating anxiety, the Insight scans, and how we learn more about the sequencing of optimal healing, click the link in our bio, comment below, send us a DM, do something. Let your child's nervous system get unstuck. Help them find calm and connection, and get your entire family back on track. We're here for that. We're here for you.